Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. I hope all of you are staying safe and are doing well. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. The month of May is almost over. The weather is gorgeous, warm, sunny. So in today's video, I wanted to give you guys, my fellow home gardeners, a full tour of my home garden. I want to show you what's in full bloom right now at the end of May 2024. So for those of you looking for that online gardening channel, which offers tips, tricks, easy yet proven gardening advice to take your home garden to the next level, I'm going your guys stick around with me today. So we're going below this video and clicking the subscribe button. Don't forget to click the bell icon as well if you enjoyed the content of my videos and want YouTube to send you notifications every single time I'll upload a new garden video. Now come with me, my fellow home gardeners. Let's get gardening. At the entrance to my driveway, I have these beautiful, large, established rhododendron shrubs. Right now, they are in full bloom. As I'm approaching my driveway, it always looks like a wall of flowers. Beautiful, large flowers, clumps of flowers, if I may call it that. Absolutely stunning display of beauty. Can't get enough of these blooms. And right next to the rhododendron is yet another azalea variety. Look how lush and bright and gorgeous this variety looks with these magenta, hot pink colored blooms. I have yet another rhododendron variety growing at the entrance to my backyard. This rhododendron variety blooms in these beautiful light pink and coral colored blooms. Aren't they just stunning? There are some new closed flower buds. However, this variety blooms a bit earlier in the season. Hence, majority of the blooms are already spent. But when it's in full bloom, it is absolutely gorgeous and stunning. What about these beautiful, bright azalea blooming shrubs? Azaleas are spring blooming perennial shrubs. Look at the abundant amount of flower blooms from bottom to the very tippy top. Gorgeous poppy red colored blooms. What about these hot pink colored blooms? There's not a single branch that's not covered in gorgeous full blooms. I get very sad when I realize that these stunners only bloom in the early spring, but however, they stay nice, bright and green the rest of the growing seasons. Next to this beautiful azalea, I have some black-eyed Susans right over here. They're not in bloom just yet, as black-eyed Susans bloom early to midsummer and all the way into the fall seasons, as well as some beautiful echinacea, or otherwise known as cornflower varieties as well. Just look at my beautiful Ranunculus. I overwinter these every single year using hoops and frost protection cloths. I have various Ranunculus varieties growing in my home garden. Look at this showstopper, the combination of white and pink in the center. What about this beautiful, large pink color blooming Ranunculus? Almost looks like a poppy. What about these burgundy color Ranunculus? Look how many petals each flower bloom has. Beautiful corals, peach. You could see that this poppy color is getting ready to open up. Beautiful yellow. Look at this off-white, bright red. This one looks like a poppy. This huge white blooming Ranunculus. Beautiful. More and more stunners. Some blooms are smaller, some are larger depending on the variety, but each one is gorgeous. Look at this one. Aren't they beautiful? What about these? Loving this poppy colored red. Look at the abundant amount of blooms. almost looks like a rose. What about this lemon yellow color ranunculus? There's the lighter yellow color ranunculus as well. Each one looks so different, yet each one is so stunningly gorgeous. My yellow jasmine shrubs are in absolute full bloom. The flower blooms are not only bright, large, but they're also amazingly fragrant. Look how many flower blooms on each of the stems. It is out of this world gorgeous. Yet there's still so many closed flower buds as well. These yellow jasmine shrubs are climbing or vining jasmine shrubs. As you could see, they're starting to crawl up my backyard fence, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I'm training the stunner to climb and trellis over my fence. And I love the view, the fragrance, and of course, who can say no to the stunningly gorgeous pop of color? Just standing here next to the shrubs makes me feel like I'm in some amazing, expensive perfume store. Just look at these gorgeous, large aliums. Aren't they absolutely stunning? The purple and the green in the center. Isn't this just beautiful? I have 6 4-foot tall aliums growing right over here, and each one is more gorgeous than the previous ones. Just take a look. Yet another beautiful alium variety right over here. The blooms are beautiful purple color with some green accents in the center. This alium variety is quite tall. It is over 4 feet tall. Right next to the aliums, I have these mature, large, established peony shrubs. They're not in full bloom just yet, but the buds are getting ready to open up. This one will be blooming in this gorgeous magenta colored bloom. And this peony variety will have this delicate light pink colored blooms. And these shrubs this year are covered in abundant amount of flower buds. I am actually shocked. I did fertilize these very early spring when they started to break ground. And I guess the fertilizer did its magic. They're very happy now. Beautiful dogwood tree in full bloom in my front yard. And I love the shape, the size, as well as the color of the blooms. Don't the blooms resemble a star? And look at the center of the blooms. It's absolutely gorgeous. It almost looks like a button. Beautiful. Usually dogwood trees bloom with white colored blooms, but this variety has this beautiful light burgundy colored blooms instead, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Look how many blooms are on this branch. This tree is my large, very large, mature, established persimmon tree. Every fall we harvest at least 80 large-sized persimmon fruit. It's not in bloom just yet. It did set quite a lot of foliage, but look at all these flower buds. Can't wait to see how much persimmon we get to harvest this year. Right next to my persimmon tree, I have my established mature pear tree as well. Right now, it's no longer in bloom. It was a bloom about 2 weeks ago. Lots of bright green foliage, but I'm also seeing beautiful pear fruits at the very, very top, right over there. So I can't wait to see how many pears I get to harvest this summer season. Beautiful. We are back at my rose garden. I have various rose varieties planted and growing in this area. Many of my rose varieties have started to open up and bloom. Just look at all this pop of a gorgeous color, from your bright pink to dark burgundy red to corals, magenta. Beautiful, beautiful rose varieties. What about this variety? Covered in these beautiful large sized flower buds. They're not in full bloom just yet, but take a look, my fellow home gardeners. They're getting ready to open up and bloom. Quite an abundant amount of flower buds. More beautiful rose varieties in full bloom. Just look at the shape and the amount of petals on this particular rose variety. Almost looks like a peony. What about this gorgeous bright red color rose variety? Look how beautiful and large these blooms are. What about this light pink rose variety? Absolutely beautiful. Love the delicate light pink coloring. Look at this showstopper. It didn't open up fully yet, but the combination of off-white, light yellow, and hot pink colors. What a landscape statement. What about this rose variety? It is much shorter compared to my other rose varieties. You could see how much shorter it is, but it is just as beautiful. The color of these roses is out of this world. I have large established Peonies growing right over here in my rose garden as well. Delicate light yellow coloring with some brighter, darker yellow, pinks, and corals in the center. Aren't these Peonies absolutely beautiful? They always produce abundant, large-sized blooms. Look at those pink and peach colors on the side of the flower buds. Right over here, I have yet another Peony variety in full bloom. Aren't these flowers absolutely breathtaking? My double white peony variety is also in bloom, and there's still quite a lot of closed flower buds. This one is very, very fragrant. I also have various iris varieties growing in my home garden. This one blooms with these dark purple colored blooms. Look at the beautiful blue accent in the center. This iris variety blooms in yellow, orange, and lilac colored blooms. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? How about this gorgeous iris variety? The blooms are a combination of white and light lavender colors. I also have some beautiful columbine varieties growing in my rose garden as well. Beautiful purple colored blooms. Yet this columbine variety blooms with these beautiful pink colored blooms. I also have various hosta varieties growing in my rose garden as well. Look how large the leaves have gotten. Beautiful bright green colors. This variety is getting ready to bloom for me. Look at that beautiful flower bud. The leaves are so large. They're starting to resemble elephant ears almost. I planted these hostas 2 years ago, and they're clearly very happy growing where they are. They are so large, bushy, and dense. My Weigela shrub is also in full bloom. Beautiful dark green and burgundy colored foliage accompanied with gorgeous bright pink colored blooms. Weigela is a spring blooming shrub. My scotch broom shrub is covered from top to bottom in abundant amount of blooms. The blooms are absolutely stunning. I am in absolute love with the coloring of these blooms. The combination of yellow, red, burgundy, orange, And when all of these blooms are combined, it is an absolute showstopper. Just look at how many blooms each branch has. Just take a look at my gorgeous container planted peonies. This starter right over here, this Ito peony, is an absolute full bloom. Isn't it absolutely breathtaking? The combination of yellow, peach, and coral colors. Beautiful. We planted these peonies from bare roots with you guys, my fellow home gardeners, 1 year ago. They're growing beautifully and they're starting to form flower buds and bloom. For those of you who are interested in how I plant my peonies in large 10-gallon size container from a bare root, I still have that video available on my channel, Gardening Cold Spring Harbor, and I'm going to link it up above for those of you, my fellow home gardeners, who are interested in checking it out as well. What about this gorgeous Sarah Bernard peony variety? It is also planted from a bare tuber in a container. We planted this variety with you, my fellow home gardeners, last year as well. It is an beautiful bloom. I still have one flower bud that's getting ready to open up, but one is in bloom and it's so beautiful and so fragrant. At the very end of my rose garden area, I have this trellis, which has yellow colored, blooming, fragrant, vining honeysuckle. And on the right side, I have the fragrant, beautiful, burgundy colored blooming honeysuckle plant as well. The burgundy colored honeysuckle is not as far along as the yellow blooming honeysuckle, but they're both absolutely gorgeous and very fragrant. My gorgeous salvia is in full bloom. Oh my goodness, look at these fragrant, gorgeous blooms. Salvia blooms are not only gorgeous, they're so fragrant, guys. I love when my salvia come alive and bloom for me. I can never get enough of the fragrance and the stunning appeal of these blooms. Just take a look, guys. And my bees and butterflies love them so much. Yet another gorgeous salvia variety. These blooms are large and fragrance, nice dark green colored foliage. I have various salvia varieties growing in my home garden, and each one is more beautiful than the previous one. Look at my gorgeous knockout roses. The shrub is covered in hot pink colored blooms and the fragrance is just out of this world. Look how many new closed flower buds there are, and the foliage is beautiful, glossy and green colored. Various coral bell varieties growing also near the entrance to my backyard. This particular variety has these dark, almost chocolate colored foliage, and look at all these new flower buds. When it's in bloom, it blooms with beautiful light pink colored blooms. Here is my large, mature, established Japanese maple tree. The color of the foliage is outstanding. It's a combination of bright green and burgundy colors. The shape of the foliage is gorgeous. And not only is the foliage an outstanding landscape statement, just look at all these gorgeous blooms. Aren't they stunning? The yellow, the green, the bright red. It is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful tree to have in your home garden. And it's large and full. Look at all the branches, all the foliage cascading, mounting down. Even my dachshund Cinderella is enjoying this beautiful summer-like weather. You like the weather, Ellie? What about Shrubsy? Toshinka, are you enjoying this beautiful weather? My dogs love hanging out with me in my backyard raised bed garden, which is right over here behind them. They love to sunbathe. Right, Ellie? Do you like to sunbathe, Mama? My black currant shrub that I planted last year with you, my fellow home gardeners, from my bare root, doesn't look like a shrub anymore. Almost looks like a huge currant tree. The shrub has grown to be at least 6 feet wide and at least 5 feet tall. And I cannot believe the abundant amount of blackberries that I have on the shrub. Every single branch is covered from top to bottom in fragrant, delicious, healthy black currants. Just take a look for yourself. Every leaf that I move over uncovers abundant amount of currants. Even the bottom branches cannot believe my eyes. This branch has so many berries on it, it got top heavy. So I'm going to have to support this branch so it doesn't end up breaking off. Look how many currants. Absolutely amazing. I cannot believe that this was initially a bare root black currant plant. What about my green gooseberry shrub right over here? It is just as wide and just as tall as my black currant one. In fact, I had to offer it extra support this year, which I haven't had to do last year. I planted this green gooseberry shrub from a bare root as well. I want to show you the amount of gooseberries that are growing on the shrub, every single branch. Look how large these are getting. Abundant amount of delicious, healthy gooseberries. Take a look, my fellow home gardeners. Every branch from top to bottom is covered in these gorgeous berries, and they're so healthy for you. They're high in vitamin C. Look at those. What about my blueberry shrubs? I have various blueberry varieties grown in my home garden. Some I already had to put a netting over so the birds will not eat the berries. Some are still in full bloom, as you could see for yourself. And some varieties are covered in gorgeous, juicy blueberries. Just take a look for yourself, my fellow home gardeners. Look at that. What about this branch? It is filled with beautiful, healthy blueberries. Can't wait till I get to harvest these stunners in a few short weeks. My container planted potatoes are doing wonderfully. Just look at all the lush, green, tall growth. They're exactly where I want them to be now in the month of May. There are no blooms just yet, just active, lush growth. And look at the color of the foliage on this blue potato variety. You could see the little burgundy in the center of the leaves. Beautiful, lush growth. And I am seeing flower buds right over here, which means that this variety is getting closer and closer to harvest time. Here are my blackberry shrubs. I have various blackberry varieties growing in my home garden. They are all in full bloom. This variety produces beautiful, bright, white colored flower blooms. Yet this blackberry variety blooms in light pink colors. Lots of beautiful raspberry varieties as well. Some I planted last year, some I planted earlier this year. And the shrubs have beautiful raspberries growing on them already. Just take a look. My beautiful phlox is in bloom as well. Finally, some of the flower buds have opened up, but there are still plenty of closed flower buds as well. Phlox is a perennial that blooms mid to late spring seasons, and it comes back for you year after year to reward you with these gorgeous blooms. Just look at my beautiful hydrangea shrub. Large, Gorgeous flower blooms. Some are getting ready to open up and some are actively blooming. Look how many new closed flower buds. The entire shrub is covered. Gorgeous combination of magenta, pink, and blues. Bright, dark green foliage. Can't wait to see this entire shrub covered in hand-sized large hydrangea blooms. What are you doing there, Ellie? What shrubs are you playing with, Ella? You guys are definitely enjoying this beautiful spring weather, right, Cinderella? My garlic plants are doing wonderfully as well. We planted this garlic together with you guys last fall, and you could see that it's standing up strong. Still nice green color, so it's not ready for harvest just yet. Here in Long Island, New York, gardening zone 7A, we plant our garlic in the fall season and we harvest it sometime around 4th of July holiday. Right next to the garlic, I have my strawberry raised bed. There's 3 strawberry varieties planted in this raised bed. In fact, we planted all 3 strawberry varieties together with you guys from bare roots roughly about a year ago. The foliage is bright green, large, huge, if I may add that. The entire bed is filled with beautiful strawberries. They're not ripe just yet, but every one of the 3 varieties is producing strawberries beautifully. Look at the abundant amount of strawberries on one strawberry plant alone. And I have this entire raised bed filled with strawberry plants. Just look how happy my container planted strawberries are. The foliage is large, covered in flower blooms and strawberries, and there are already some strawberries that are ripening. In this raised garden bed, I have 6 celery plants growing. Celery does take quite a long time, and you're between 90 to 120 days from seed to harvest. But my celery is growing beautifully. It's green, getting quite tall as well, which is exactly what you want to be seeing now in the early spring season. Right over here in this raised garden bed, I have beets growing. 2 beet varieties. The Detroit dark red variety, as well as the gourmet blend beet varieties. We planted these together from seed with you guys, my fellow home gardeners, few short weeks ago. And you can see how beautifully they're growing. I'm getting just about ready to start thinning the seedlings. You want your seedlings to be about this tall, so roughly about 4 inches or so, 4 to 5 inches before you start thinning them. I don't like to thin my beet seedlings when they're short like this, as they're not ready to be thinned out. How do I thin out my beet seedlings? I use scissors to cut off the tops. I never attempt to pull on the seedlings, because beets or beetroot is a root vegetable which does not like to have its root system, the beetroot, disturbed. Here is my beautiful Proven Winners container. I have 4 different Proven Winner plants planted in this container, such as our super petunias, African daisies. Look at all these beautiful flowers. They are growing beautifully and loving all the sunlight. This is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today on this beautiful, hot, summer-like spring day in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. In today's video, we took a full tour of my home garden. We saw what's growing as well as what's in full beautiful bloom. So for those of you who enjoyed the content of today's video, if you found today's video to be useful, helpful, informative, and absolutely anyway, don't be shy, guys. Show me that support by clicking thumbs up below. Leave your comments in the comments section as well. I personally read each and every single one of your comments and respond to each and every single one of you. Let me know what's growing, what's blooming in your home gardens. For those who haven't yet subscribed to my gardening channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor, what are you waiting for, guys? Super easy for you to do, super pleasing and rewarding to me. Just go below this video and click the subscribe button. If you want YouTube to send you notifications every single time I'll upload a new garden video, click the bell icon as well. Stay healthy, happy, be well, each and every single one of you. And happy gardening, my fellow home gardeners, and I'll see you again in my new upcoming garden videos. Bye, guys.